Welcome to this session. We are very excited. I'm Lotte Dahlmo and this is Cecilie and Nilsen. Hi. So, yeah, this is going to be a very interactive session. We'll go through a really quick presentation of why we're using Inkscape and how we can use it. But first, who are we? This is a picture of me and Cecilie. We're big fans of going out and doing outreach. Here we were at school, some kids, introducing them to the life cycle of Atlantic salmon. These are farmed salmon, though. Our wild salmon are a lot more prettier than this. It's true. So Cecilia, she did her master thesis on the movement ecology of hatchery versus wild Atlantic salmon, and is now doing her PhD on the migration of salmoniid smolts through lakes, which are affected by hydropower. And I did my master's on the lake behavior of brown trout, anadromous brown trout, and just recently started my PhD on the fjord ecology of spiny dogfish. And we became friends last year, and I now consider Cecilie one of my best friends, and we really do enjoy making scientific illustrations, and we are very excited to hopefully give you a nice introduction to Inkscape. And I did this yesterday with my presentation, if you were there. We normally live in Bergen, beautiful place, come visit, please. We're part of the Bergen telemetry network. So we do tag different species, very cool. Go check out our website or our Twitter account, Bergen Telemetry. We try to post regularly. So why we're here, Inkscape. It's a free program, can crash. Usually save the work that you're doing. Most often, keep that in mind. Do save your work. I don't think I've ever actually lost anything though. I have. That's fine. Why? So this is Robert while he was diving. This is some of the examples of the species we have made. Trout, spiny dogfish, different otters. You can make a lot of different figures. It's really great to create study design. This was for my master project, the lake I worked in, trying to simplify what acoustic telemetry is for people who are not familiar. Create logos, our BTN logos, different projects that we work on in Norway. For proposals, they're really great. You probably saw these ones during our presentations the other day here at the symposium. Really great tool to just simplify what you're doing. Picture can tell a lot instead of reading a long paragraph. Great tools for papers. This is a figure that Cecilie made for a paper that was recently published. Encourage you guys to go check it out. It's called Moving Cleaner Fish from the Wild into Fish Farms. It's your song name. Check it out. Yeah, I have to promote us a bit here. Also, very easily, you can have like a relatively boring graph. Just add a couple of species, and you can really simplify what you're trying to tell. This is a board game that Cecilie made. It's a board game about the life cycle of Atlantic salmon. It's been really fun. We bring it out to kids. We also play it with friends. And it's a really great tool. The kids love it. Our other supervisor, Knut, back in Norway, he's sick of it because his kids love it so much. They want to play it all the time. Also, there's definitely different levels of how much time you need to spend or can spend. So sometimes you have 3 minutes, and sometimes, this is Cecilia's, she's more efficient. She's more efficient. I'm like, I'm gonna spend a couple of more days on this, which is not very smart, to be honest. Like, it's not necessarily needed to spend days on a figure. Also, you can create whatever you want to. Cecilie created her mom for her 60th birthday. Great card. We have our colleagues. It's really, really fun. And what it basically is, we usually find a picture, we outline it, and then you suddenly have your species or whatever you want to draw. And now we are not experts in Inkscape, not at all, but I think we managed pretty well. And these are the 4 tools that we rely most on, and we're gonna spend most time on today. There's a lot of different tools in Inkscape, but I don't think you guys really need it. I haven't needed all of them so far, so we'll see. This is point, click, drag, make a figure, use to make lines, very easy. This is a tool where you can adjust the lines, and then of course you can write text. And choose really, really nice colors. We're very big fans of finding the correct color. And now, before you're gonna draw your own fish, Cecilia's gonna go through just a quick demonstration. And in the end, everyone who wants to.
I think we do it step by step.
Yeah, but everyone who wants to, everyone who wants to be in the competition can. If you don't want to, that's totally fine. But the winner will get a prize brought from Norway. Yeah. And it doesn't need to be the nicest, best picture. It's the one that you like the most. So let's see if this works.
Yeah, so now I need to jump in because I'm the one who makes figures really fast, which makes them a little bit uglier, but it's more time efficient for what we're after today. And then for the ones who want fine details and editing extra stuff or check out some cool tools, you can ask Lotte along as we go. So I think everyone should find a picture, just Google a fish or something, don't spend too much time on it. Just print screen it, pop it into your Inkscape that I know how all of you have, and I'll take you through how you outline.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so I don't know if your how your screen looks now. Do you have like the fill and stuff over on your side of the screen? No. So Lotte is going to show you how you do that.
So you just go into object here on the top. Can everyone see the object column or whatever it's called button? And then just push fill and stroke, and then it should show up on the right side. So object on top here, fill and stroke. It should pop up. Have anyone succeeded in getting it?
Raise your hand if you're struggling. Okay.
Sorry, which bit?
So object on the top and fill and stroke. Yeah. Just easier access to it. Yeah.
So you just drag the figure to the
Okay, so if you guys, Lotte's going to go around, just raise up a hand if you need help. We're going to play around a little bit with the tool that is here. I don't know how well you see it. And this one is helping you drawing an outline. So after clicking on that, you can click anywhere on your photo, and then you sort of just, you click, and then you move the mouse without holding, and then you click another point. And you go along the outline, just clicking on different points. And you don't need to be accurate at all when doing this, because you can sort of just drag the lines afterwards. So just try to sort of just cut the corners. It will make it easier for you afterwards. And you can also just move the points. So what?
Sorry, can you say how you started that again?
Yeah, it's over here. Do you see this?
The little pen looking thing?
So it's this symbol here, which is unfortunately not, it's a little bit cut out. Okay. And then you just click at a point, you move the mouse and you click again, and you make like a very, I'm gonna quickly finish so you guys can see how sort of, how I'm just really doing it very raw, not, you see this shape here now? It's not made very accurately at all, but it doesn't matter because you can alter it afterwards, and now we sort of have the first silhouette of the fish. So I'm gonna improve the size here a little bit just for you guys to see. Let's see. Yeah. So it's probably gonna take a while for people to have their outline. Have people gotten their photo into Inkscape? Yeah? Yeah? Good job, guys. Catching up quickly. Okay. That's awesome. And for those of you who wanna, okay, I'll take a little circle in the room just to see where people are at. We have time. So for those of you who already have an outline, you have this like fill and stroke on the side here. In the beginning now when we're working, we sort of still want to see our photo. So it could be good to see like on the last line here, if you have it on the HSV here, I think that's the sort of default of the program, at least it was for me. You can make it see-through, so you still see your complete photo when you work, which is very ideal. And then on the stroke and paint, you can alter like the color and stuff like that. So the fill will be the inside of the stroke is like the silhouette surrounding line. Yeah. Yeah. So fill here. Okay, wait. I not so if you put on this one, and then you click on the object, yeah, and then you check the fill, and you can drag it to minimum. Yeah, and then you go and stroke, and you make it there. Yeah, and you get line.
Thank you.
And you can on stroke and style, you can make it like bigger. It's silly with the colors, sort of like.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
I think I did
Yeah,
that
it's all
time, and
good.
now it looks like that. Or I did my line. Makes sense.
Okay. So I see a lot of you have a line around your fish or dog or whatever fun stuff you're drawing. So we're now going to try another tool. just make sure that all of you use the arrow that is in the top of your sort of toolbar to click on the object when you're wanting to do something with it, like color it or something, because as soon as you click another place on the page, this object is not in the focus. So just make sure you sort of have the line around it when you want to play around with colors. So now, when it's in focus here, we can click on the second tool, which is up here. So it's the one that's going to make us sort of drag our lines. So now I can either, when I have the mouse on a point, it turns red, and I can hold and sort of move it wherever I want on the page. So, okay, I want to move it a little bit to the back. And then, is the microphone out? The microphone is out. Is it? Yeah? Okay, and then if you click on the line, you can drag it as you please.
Yeah.
Can we use the second one?
Yeah, I'll try to figure that out now.
Okay. So just play around and sort of like drag the line to fit the photo you have, but don't be too critical. Just try to make it like, doesn't need to be in completely. Anyone need any help?
Sorry, my bad.
I swear.
No.
Okay, so the sound now, should I just speak very loudly?
As long as you're like near that thing.
Oh, okay, okay.
But yeah, we're getting someone in to help us with the lights.
Okay. So, I just got a question, like, if you want to make another point, let's say you wanted to make this a bit more accuracy here on the fin or something, you just double click and you have a new point that you could drag wherever you want. So now,
How do you like zoom in so you can like see?
I just use the mouse pad to just drag.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's very useful to like sort of just go if you want to. Oh. Here, I want to make it fit better. But yeah, I encourage you guys to not be too critical of your work. We're here to learn, so don't care of it to be as perfect as Lotte's work. Yeah, of course, but you can be creative, you know. Use colors and other things so it's not as time consuming. I encourage you guys. It doesn't need to be natural. So now what I'm doing is just, when I have my silhouette, I'm copying it up just because if we alter something now, it's nice to still have this. So I just made some copies. And when you come to this point, please save your file, because if it crashes, it's very nice if you have the file now.
Sorry, how did you make the copy?
I just right click and then go to copy and
Test.
and then right click again to paste.
The other one, good?
The other one's dead.
Is that-
Do you want me to?
I think we'll probably be good with just the one for the rest of the sessions. Thank you.
This is fun.
This is super fun. Yeah.
And hello? Hello?
Blue?
Okay, I guess.
all now?
Yes.
Okay.
It just sounds weird for us. Like it doesn't.
Okay, if I'm like being super loud there, please let me know because I'm not hearing it. And what you can do now is you can play around with some different coloration. So, okay. And this is such a perfect thing to do on a plane or something, like you don't need internet. I made so much Inkscape on my way to Canada because I can't sleep on planes. But one of the things I think is really cool to do with the coloration is that I go here on the fill, and then you can click on this like drop down here to get the exact same color. And then I often like scale it up, so I make it way darker. Okay. And then, I don't know how well you see it, but up here under the fill, there is like squares. The first square under fill is like completely filled with a color, but there is one right to it where it's like sort of this like ombre effect, which I love. So if you see on this silhouette now, you can double click. Right. Yeah. So when I double click now, I can sort of like move the shade to wherever I want. And it's just super quick way of making that illustration feel a little bit more of a 3D.
Literally just copy paste, like Control C.
Can we group objects? I might have done
Yes.
my mouse outline, and now I can't.
So if you right click on any object, when you're on the arrow, sorry, you should be able to group or ungroup, which means, I'm going to show you that afterwards, but let's say you had an eye or something on that fish now and you want that to stay in place, then you can click on both of them to sort of group them together. I'm going to show you that very shortly. Okay, so what I do now is that I want to put these on top of each other, but the problem is always like the last object to make is going to be the one that is lower. So if you see the arrows up here, you can sort of move them. So now when I've clicked on one of my silhouettes, I can move it to the front if I want with a sort of top arrow here, and I can move it back down again if I decide. And there's this whole function where you can have different sort of layers and stuff to make this more systematic for bigger figures, but that'd be easy for you guys to Google and figure out on your own. So I'm just trying to keep it simple here now. Okay, so now you see I have a fish with a silhouette or sort of a shadow. And if I drag now, or just you drag to get both of them in focus and right click, you can group them. After you right click, there's many options here that are very useful, but the one that groups, make sure that now the shadow is sort of attached to the first silhouette you made. Am I going too fast?
A little bit.
A little bit, okay.
How did you make the gradient of the color again?
I'm going to show you.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah. Okay, so if we have this silhouette here, I'll click on I'm on stroke. You need to be on the fill function, first of all.
Yeah.
And then I like to use a darker color because it's more fun. So make sure the lower one here is 100%, because if not, it's see-through. And then right under fill, you have these different squares. And you click to the second one from the left. So this one. So you click on the square that's sort of half shaded. There are different ones you can use, but this is my favorite. And when you now have these sort of ombre effect or like shaded effect, you can double click and you can move the shadow wherever you want. So that again was finding a color you want, on the fill, and then clicking to the sort of half shadowed square that is up here. Do you have any like questions this far? We can just take in a group. No?
I got all these little points back on there.
How do you change the outline?
So, you mean like the line around?
I mean, all these.
Yeah, you go to this fill and stroke to your right on the screen, and then you click on stroke paint, and there you click on the fill functions. No, sorry, there you click on like just the square that is there. Right next to the X, there's a square, and you get up all the different colors you can choose. And if you don't want to color around it at all, you just click on the X that's there, and then you can sort of just keep it with no line around, which is useful. I bet there's a lot of people thinking the same. It's always challenging to learn something new. Let's see. Okay. And then let's see. Okay, I'm going to show you guys one more tool. Let's see. Okay.
Real quick, how did you change the direction of the gradient?
Yeah, so if you have tried to make a gradient, just double click on it, and it will give you this this line here, where you can sort of change where the coloration will be. So, and now I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and the tool we use to sort of trace the whole figure we have, we can also use to just make lines. So now I'm, for instance, going to make like the operculum. So I'm clicking here, and then now it's just a line. And then you can again click on the second tool from the top to sort of just drag it to be fitting where you want. And for all of the tiny things you do, there's a lot of different settings to make the edges round and all of these things, and the size of the line and stuff you can, details you can bother Lotte or ask here for everyone. Yeah?
What did you use to draw the line initially?
So the line is just drawn by the same tool we use to draw the fish. So it's the one that is
Oh, there you go.
here.
Yeah.
So you just click anywhere on your photo or in the screen there, and then move the mouse, and then click again to get the line. And then you can use this tool that is second from the top to bend this, sort of curve the line however you want it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna make some lines here.
So I kind of got my color out and try to
Sorry,
draw
can you
some
again
things.
like how to make the new line?
And all that stuff.
Yeah, so if you want to,
Sorry, so you've done the coloring and then you drag it back to the
Oh,
the
I see
original
what you want.
photo.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
so you make the color and then you drag it back to the original.
I don't know if I understand what you mean.
Yeah, so I've done with this one, right? Drag it back here.
The only reason I'm drawing on the original photo now is because I wanted to add some details. And then there's like, if you want to make an eye or something like this, it's easier to like just click on the circles and figures that are available than to sort of try to draw your own circle. So that is very simple tools on that toolbar there that you can play around with if you need a square or a circle. Okay, and now I'm gonna show you a secret. So what I like to do to try to make my figures look more complex is like if there's any pattern, if you're, I don't know, visualizing a knitted sweater or a dotted trout or whatever you're making, if it's like the hair of a beard or like really anything you're gonna make, just try to make very simple figures. So now I'm just making a couple of dots here and I'm trying to be not thinking it needs to be perfect, just really having them at random. And then I am drawing, so if you click and you draw, you kind of can have a square to like mark whatever objects you want to color. So now I can color them all at the same time. So I want them to be similar color as my fish. So I use the toolbar where I can select color, which is the one down to the left, like a droplet where. But you can just choose whatever color you want, of course. Just give me a moment. Yeah. So now when I have these dots, I often like to just copy them in a bunch. So I'm gonna make 3 sets of those. And then I make them a little bit different in color, just to have a variation. And by doing this, I can now afterwards sort of like add them to my fish for it to look more complex in the pattern. So if you mark them now when they're colored, you right click and you can group them. So now I can move them around all together. And what I like to do then is just to sort of paste them randomly above to the fish or whatever. Again, trying to not be perfect, just when you paste the object like this, you get errors and all of the sides, and you can sort of just scale them down to whatever size you prefer. Let's see. So I'm just gonna like copy all of them over there. And just like try to have them at different sizes and all these things to sort of just make the figure a little bit more alive. You do this any way you want, of course.
And did you say Inkscape has some symbols like built in?
What, it has some?
Symbols built in, like circles, squares,
Yeah.
things like that.
So you find them like here, like circle and squares, like on the toolbar there. So you can like sort of just drag them in any way you want. And of course, normally, I admittingly would have spent a lot of time finding the perfect colors, which I'm not allowing myself right now. But yeah, we're gonna see how this turns out. And yeah, as I said, like now when we're building a lot of different objects and stuff, it can get a little messy. So it is functions in here that sort of allows you to have several sheets where you can lock some of the objects. But yeah, you can teach that to anyone who
once later on. What's that? I'm not. Jeg får ikke la meg flytte på noe.
Yeah.
Okay? Så jeg får ikke flytte på noe. Jeg bare... Det nå er jo liksom... Ok, jeg har ikke laget det. Okay, sorry, I'm not working on my computer, so I'm... Dette er ikke en vanlig tur bare. Okay.
Yeah, our logos are done, but we're trying to make some infographics, just highlight what the
Like it's hard to
yeah, I wish, I mean, I would. We didn't design it where we didn't actually print it on anything in mind, like.
What? Yeah?
Blow it all up, just like print it somewhere. But like, order it on anything. Yeah. There's a lot of product, you know, shove things in black and white. Yeah. Yeah, mine. And they, nobody was thinking about that when they were designing our logo.
Okay, I'm just gonna walk around and help out a little bit now because we're moving towards the end. Okay. Yeah, so always try to be on this. Yeah. Then it's like
Yeah.
so just go okay. So it's the outline you want to change?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Do you want
So it's blended with
do you want another color? So if you want to blend in this one, you can pick the random color and then you can pick it anywhere you like.
okay.
And then we are taking it up.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I usually
That's called.
see the outline over here. Sorry. And don't forget all of this. Then and then I just sort of down and then click on the line you want to see yourself and then these lines are sort of there and then I would actually you want them to be like a lot of people would just outline it over again but now I'm quite comfortable to get it. And then
Now, here you move it one way, here, lay it off, and turn it down. Now, I guess. Yeah. Now it's very.
Very. Like generalized. Well, this is, I guess this is specific for Inkscape, which is this one. But then the top is by users. More than that, it's just like,
He's old.
For this group. Yeah. Oh God, almost forgot the second one. Yeah.
also really good.
Group all my lines together so I can move it as like this.
And I'm just going to show you one tool that's helped me a lot. And that is this little lock up here. If that is locked, when you move, like let's say I make a square and I want to make it bigger or smaller, it's still going to keep the exact shape. If this is not locked and I'm moving this, the complete figure just changes. So when you put in a photo or something, just always remember to lock it because it makes your life a lot easier to use this tool here.
Should I make my blue shirt purple?
Yeah, your blue shirt should be purple.
And I also want to say that you have an option of putting text here, so that's very useful for figures. You can write, yeah. Okay.
Do you have a color under it, or do you just have this? So if you, wait, let me lock this first. Oh, it's yours. Let me like make it smaller. Wait, can you just write? Object. Okay, because what I would do is like just pull this.
Actually, I'm very happy with this.
Really? It sounds interesting. Now they're all within the same. But anyways, the point is like, so if you draw and then you one of them, you can lock it. Oh, that's super cool. So you can sort of make it background and then, you know, when you start to have a complex figure.
And I'm not gonna spend heaps of time showing you this, but I want you to know that there is like a layer function here. I don't know, yeah. Here it's basically saved every step I've done. But what you can do is that you can make a new layer, and you don't need to do this now, but if you're going to draw, for instance, a figure for a paper, you might want to have like one that's named shrimp, that's where you're drawing your shrimp in, and then you click on another layer where you draw your shark or what you're going to make, and then you sort of can lock all of the layers, so what you can very easily like move around without ruining things that are already on your page. Yeah. And I just want to highlight what Lotte said. She said she had never lost any work. I unfortunately have, especially if you're running R at the same time as having Inkscape up, which I always do. It is very good to just make sure you save it as an SVG file. If you do save it only as a PDF or something like that, when you open it, you sort of lose some of the playfulness of the Inkscape layers and stuff. So just make sure to, additionally to saving it in a format you want, save it as a SVG file. And what is cool with the figures you make is that you can make them with a see-through background. I saw a lot of good illustrations and figures on this conference, which made me terrified of coming here because it seemed like no one needed our help. But I saw a couple of like people having graphs with, you know, where you have the background of a photo, you crop the white photo and suddenly it's in another, and that's fine. But you avoid that using Inkscape because you can get the background completely see-through when you save and all that. And there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube on how to do all of the tiny things. So it's, yeah, quite quick to figure out. And how much time do you have, Kim? 10 minutes, okay. Lotte, do you want to initiate this plan of yours?
I'm happy with my trigger prediction now. I just want to save just this enough of old Inkscape.
And just remember when you first have the figure, it's so easy to just like sort of duplicate it and just make another color on it, and it'd be fun for, I don't know, birthday cards or whatever you want to use it for.
Yep.
Okay, so can everyone hear me? People are just very engaged.
Oh, I have to put a box behind it.
Okay, I need everyone's attention, please.
Yeah.
So back to the competition. If you want to be included in the competition with your very, very nicely drawn illustration, which everyone should, yeah, it's an awesome prize. You push this text function. You haven't used it yet. Choose a random 4-digit number.
Please not all 1, 2, 3, 4. Be creative.
Be a bit creative.
And you click on the A, that's the text function. The A you have on your toolbar to the left.
Yeah, yeah. And then everyone needs to walk around, look at each other's computers, note down the one that you like the best. It doesn't need to be the nicest one. It can be the creative one. I don't know, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then come up to us with that number, please.
And the number with the most votes will have
Get a prize.
Norwegian prize.
Robert's already spoiled it.
He did?
Someone? Yeah, to someone.
Oh my
Say
god.
that again. You just want us to put any number on our picture.
Yeah.
Perfect.
4-digit.
4 digits. Yes, very important. Not really.
It has to be 4-digit.
Yes.
I hope someone has the same number now.
And please, and avoid like 1, 1, 1, 1.
Ross did 9999.
Exactly, that's why I said that.
Yeah. And also, like if you're in a hurry and you don't have time to save stuff, what's cool about Inkscape is you can just copy and paste from your sheet into PowerPoint and stuff.
Font, you know. Oh yeah, that is weird. Maybe is it like the pink? Too hot?
Alright, for better or for worse, all is good. orders today.
You want to fill the eye? So.
It's hard. It's really hard.
Very nice. Thank you.
Oh, you put
Good
contacts on? You're a pirate. Oh.
So you only have
So do we need to walk
4
around?
minutes to walk around.
Okay.
Wait, how did you add the text?
Hmm?
How did you add the text?
Text. Yeah. You just click on the A on the left there. There's the toolbar there. And then you click
Remember
anywhere.
to
Yeah.
note down the numbers.
Just write the whatever number you want. Birthday or whatever. 4 digits.
That's totally good. Yeah, that's pretty good. You're doing so good. Oh, man. I'm really impressed. Man, I'm having a hard time deciding. Oh, I gotta take this sheet so I can write my numbers down. Otherwise, I'm not gonna remember. So I can remember what number it is.
Sticky note.
This was super fun.
I like this.
I do too. Thank you for doing this. This was really fun.
Do you have a number you want to walk on?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Oh, that's like a single thing. That's like not even fair. Ooh, that's a great
How
ass.
did you make like so accurate?
I know, right?
Um,
Yeah. Somebody was not an amateur. I know that was my last one.
I actually read it.
I feel like they're okay.
But there, so you just do that.
You can do it, I think.
You actually have to change the round.
I don't know. Yeah. Thanks.
No, is it,
Wow.
we also have. It makes the day so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So nice. Oh, okay, I don't have it.
I'm really impressed by all of the stuff you made.
You can go find a price.
No worries. There's nothing in there you're gonna hurt. Alright, circling my final choice. Right, we're only picking one, yes? I circled the one I ended up choosing.
I also, like, in the end there want to say that it's probably good to use your own photos or credit, depending on how much you change the figure. I don't really know how that rule set there is. I very kindly stole this beautiful photo from Tour de Viers, which is one of our colleagues. So, yeah, just wanted to get some credit for that. Okay.
Is there anyone who hasn't voted that would like to vote? Please come up with your note, number.
Okay, yeah. No, me either. Okay. Yeah, come on. And the winner is 2012.
You literally like can't tell which one is the like original and which one's your digital.
Yeah.
And the price is,
That's why actually
do not be mistaken for a Kit Kat. It's not a Kit Kat, it's a Kit which is way better. It's our competition. It's way weekend. So we're bringing it on all of Canada, being like, this is better than your Kit Kat. That's excellent. Really good work. Have you worked in Inkscape before?
I've opened it, done a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really impressive though. Really, really nice. Incredible.
Did everybody have a nice time learning about Inkscape?
Yeah.
Anybody think they might continue to use Inkscape for some new tasks?
Yeah. That's great.
So we give a big thank you to Lotte and Cecilia.